Hello Bond fans, this is my weekly review on Her Majesty's Secret Service. We start off with Bond driving down a road, minding his own business, when a speeding car goes passing by. Bond, being the investigator he is, chases after it. Let's talk about Bond for a start. When I heard he was going to be played by George Lazenby, Australian, I thought he was going to sound like this.
Bond. James Bond, mate.
But he doesn't, he pulls it off. Anyway, when he's driving down, he sees the woman get out of her car and go to the sea about to commit suicide. Bond obviously saves the girl. But when he's about to talk to her, some thugs come and attack him. Bond obviously wins. The last that we see is the woman driving away in the car. We then see the title sequence on Her Majesty's Secret Service. John Barry does an awesome performance in this one, and I love how the hourglass is showing the time he spent as Bond. Our next scene is Bond in his hotel room. He sees the mysterious woman's car, and he asks who it is. The man replies, Teresa Di Vincenzo. The next night, Bond goes to his casino. He's playing a poker game where Teresa comes. She can't pay a bet. She just so Bond pays for her. They have a few drinks, and she says she likes to be called Tracy. They have a few minutes talking, and they agree to meet up in Tracy's room. Later that night, Bond goes to Tracy's room, and there's a man waiting for him. He has a fight with the man. Bond obviously wins. He then goes back to his hotel room, where he finds Tracy holding Bond's Walther PPK. Bond goes to twist Tracy's arm, and he says, "Who's the man in the room?" She replies, "I do not know." He then goes to slap her, wife beater, but then end story short, Bond bonks her. The next day, Bond is captured by the man in his room with his fellow friends. They drive down a car, where he goes into a building. Actually, in this scene, you can hear the cleaner whistling the gold from the theme. I think it is anyway. Anyway, we then meet Draco, Tracy's father, and he explains that Tracy has a miserable life, and he thinks a man will help her with it. And then he says he'll give Bond a $1 million pounds in gold if he agrees to marry her at the wedding day. Bond replies no, but he will still court her. The next scene is Bond with about the Blofeld case. Says Blofeld is no longer a matter, and he is off the case. Bond goes to Moneypenny and asks to resign. Moneypenny gives 5 days notice. So she kind of saved his life. Anyway, next thing we see Bond go to a bullfight with Draco, and Tracy finds out Draco's plan, and she runs off. Bond has a few words with her. Then they have a loving scene with the music of I don't know his name. And then the next scene is Bond gets his case back. Then the next scene is Bond goes meeting Emma Bunt, a Spectre agent who works for Blofeld. When Bond is actually working as Sir Hilary Grey, a homosexual. Bond goes to Piscloria, and he finds out that the old patients on Piscloria are all females around the world. He gets to chatty with some, and then he actually meets up with one at night, and then he actually finds out that Blofeld, played by Tony Serraris, is actually mind-washing them to have no phobias. So the next scene is that there's a man climbing up on the Piscloria, and he is shot. Then they take him to Blofeld. We don't see him until the scene yet. But then later that night, Bond tries to make out with another girl, but then it's Emma Bunt, and she goes to hit him around the head with a club. We then find out that it's Christmas, and then Blofeld explains that his plan his plan is to get all these women around the world, and put up this deadly gas that will kill everyone in the cities. Bond then escapes in his ice hockey in this awesome ski scene. Anyway, let's talk about Blofeld for this. I don't mind his performance in this, but I think the one in You Only Live Twice is much better. Then ski is actually quite amusing with a henchman actually saying to the one who actually hit the tree, "Stupid." I think we all think that, really. Anyway, and then Bond gets to the little village. And then he meets up with Tracy again, and then Emma Bunton's chasing behind him, and then they lose him, and then they meet in the barn because of a snow blizzard. Bond actually arranges her to marry him, and then next day Blofeld finds Bond and chases after Bond and Tracy. The ski scene is quite good on this one, with on the Majesty Secret Service thing blowing out the back of it. Blofeld blows up a mountain, making an avalanche. With the next scene is Bond going to M, asking M for help to get Tracy back. M's been a bit of a dick and says no. So M goes to Draco for help. Draco obviously says yes. Next thing is Draco trying to fool the Piz Gloria guards that he's just a Italian hospital plane and only wants to get 3 people out, so they let him through. Next scene is Tracy trying to be all cozy to Blofeld, and so Blofeld lets her go into the room she wants to, and she does. They see the planes coming. Next scene is Blofeld and his guards running away from the scene because of what happened, the attack on Piz Gloria. Which is an awesome scene with guns blazing everywhere. Draco and the mafia and Bond fighting everywhere. People, really good action scene, and you know what scene it is. And Bond slides down, shooting, and Tracy fighting that one guy. It's really good, and then with the Bond thing blowing out. Anyway, Bond tries to chase after Blofeld in a bobsleigh, and he obviously wins because he has his head stuck on the thing. And then the next scene is quite unique. Bond actually gets married to Tracy, and he's known as Tracy Bond. The scene of Moneypenny is actually quite sad because her face is really sad anyway. The next scene is Bond with its Aston driving down and taking off his flowers. Releasing Emma Bunt with Blofeld. Emma Bunt firing the gun, killing Tracy in the forehead, shooting her in the forehead. The next scene is one of the most impressive of George Lazenby of any other. He just says he's the catchphrase of the movie. We have all the time in the world, police officer, and then the movie ends. Okay, viewers, I need to do a shout out to Bond Manic, and our next review is going to be From a View to a Kill.